Hello, in this video, we shall be discussing about industry analysis. We have first of all talked about economy analysis. Now we move down to the industry analysis. We have talked in detail about all the various factors or the various techniques that are used in economy analysis. Now we're talking about industry analysis. When we talk about industry, it means a part or a sector or a part of the economy which is dedicated towards production or providing service of a particular aspect only. When you talk about industry, it is related to the economy as well as the performance of individual companies within that particular industry. So an assessment has to be made regarding all the conditions and factors relating to demand of a particular product, cost structure, the industry or cost structure of the industry, and other economic and government constraints on the same. So each industry have certain different characteristics, and each industry avail different benefits from the government, and also have different the demand size as well as supply based on the items or the services that they are rendering. So economy, in order to study economy analysis, industry analysis, we have to talk about the life cycle of an industry. So we all know how what is the basic meaning of product life cycle. So product, it is similar to a product life cycle only. Industry life cycle has four stages basically: pioneering stage, expansionary stage, stagnation stage, and decay stage. So stagnation means at the maturity stage basically. In the pioneering stage is the first stage in the industry life cycle of or a new industry where the technology as well as the product are relatively new and have not reached actually or has not attained a state of perfection. So there is a point where or where there is a feature of growth or innovation or better specifications which will lead to the more demand and opportunity in the market. So many companies compete with each other vigorously at this particular stage because the product is new or the idea is new. As such, new companies have entered this industry and they are competing neck to neck. So that the item at the end is of a perfect one, and there is the price is also reasonable and market based. So this is the basic introduction of a particular item where the companies are new, the industry is new, and there is cutthroat competition where they are trying to be perfect in the market. Next, we move on to the expansionary stage. So expansionary stage means in the previous one it was basically cutthroat competition and the idea was completely new. But in this case, they have reached a position where they have at least covered a particular market and they have survived the pioneering stage. So each company finds a market here for itself and develops its own strategies now to sell and maintain that particular position. So now they have at least attained a particular region or market, and now they are trying to implement strategies so that they can hold on to that market and also gather new markets. So now at this point, what they do is they try to lower prices and give improved product and product services. Then we have stagnation stage. So stagnation stage is the third stage in this industry life cycle. So in this stage, actually what happens, the growth of the industry stabilizes. So there is no further growth. It is a mature point. So ability of the industry to grow further appears to have been actually lost. So what happens is sales may be increasing, but the increase in sales is at a lower rate. Like in the expansionary stage, what was happening is that there was increase in sales, but the increase in sales was an increasing rate. But here in stagnation stage, there may be increase in sales, but the rate of increase is at a decreasing point. So the industry actually begins to stagnate. The transition now here, the transition of the industry from the expansion to stagnation is very often very slow. So you will not be able to identify at what point they have reached or when they have started becoming stagnant. So it is very difficult to identify, but at a point where they will come to a point or stop where you can identify that this is the stagnation stage. So you might have seen how black and white television industry actually in India or the globe across the globe can be a good example. So when the television sector was into when television came to use in India, at first it was black and white. So slowly and steadily people used to buy. There was a huge demand. There was a pioneering stage, an expansionary stage. Then at a point there was a stagnation because at that point during the early 90s, I suppose early 90s, at that point only people had enough of this particular thing. So sales were increasing, but slowly people had an idea of why not colored TVs, because in some other countries, in Western countries, at that point of time, color TVs were introduced. So what happens now comes a decay stage. The decay stage is a industry passes to the stage where it almost dies out. So this occurs when there is no demand for a particular item or demand for the products which are produced by the industry, and as well as new products and technologies have entered the market which have changed the habits, styles, and preferences of the customers. So as a result, what is happening is the industry is becoming obsolete and gradually it ceases to exist. So these changes in the society and preferences and technology results in the decay of the industry. Like we see how the ambassador, like the car ambassador, has decayed. The production has been stopped because of various things which were not friendly, economic friendly, not friendly to the society. At present, people now want other features which were not there in the car. So this is one of the cycles which helps to understand how, at what point of time, at what point the industry is at, and when to invest and how much to invest. Because if you're investing in an industry which is a decay stage, because then obviously it won't be helping you or your investment. Next, we have the characteristics of the industry. So demand and supply, though there are various characteristics, some of them are demand and supply gap. So the demand for a particular product usually tends to change at a steady rate sometimes, whereas the capacity to produce the product tends to change at irregular rates. You must understand that because the demand of a particular product, because consumers will consume only, they buy the product and consume, but the supply will be dependent on the availability of raw materials, on the availability of the on the peaceful transportation, or peaceful or stability in the economy, or stability of the government. So there are various things associated with supply of the item, because supply of the item in the market is dependent on various other factors. That is because the raw material has to be processed, because if there are strikes and bans in the country, now obviously the item cannot be processed because of unavailability of people or skilled laborers or workers. So demand will becomes constant or increases at a steady rate, but what happens, supply becomes irregular, or the capacity to produce becomes irregular or changes at an irregular rate. So as a result, what happens, an industry is likely to experience undersupply and oversupply of capacity at different times. So this is one of very important characteristics, because now if you see when you buy LPG cylinders, at certain point of the year the demand is, even though the demand was same, supply becomes constrained, or there is less supply, due to which you will find there are huge long queues in the uh, gas agencies, because demand remaining same, the supply has reduced because of various factors, because of roadblocks, because of strikes, because of uh, like instability in a particular environment. So these things result in the less supply, thus reducing or thus increasing the gap between demand and supply in a particular industry. So it's fairly a good indicator of its of the people who forecast that if there is a gap between demand and supply, then it would make us understand, or if someone estimates that there will be a gap between the demand and supply, then what would be the result. So these things, this is a particularly important characteristic of the industry. Then we have competitive conditions in the industry. So competitive condition means if there is competition, it is good, because only when there is competition, you will get the item at a reasonable price and you'll get the quality item. So the level of competition among various companies in an industry is determined by various competitive forces. So competitive forces, when I talk about competitive forces, I'm talking about barriers to entry, then like threat of substitution, then bargaining powers of buyers, which I've talked about in my Porter's scale, then bargaining powers of suppliers, and rivalry among competitors. So competition is necessary, but how it is being affecting the particular industry is also important. If it is affecting negatively, then it is not good. So if the barriers to entry, like suppose if it is free, like many firms can enter and many firms can exit. So if many firms can enter the market industry, then the market will be diluted and all the firms will be producing items, and no firm will be able to secure a particular market. So this is one point which is negative to the industry. Then we have threat of substitution. Threat of substitution means how one particular item is getting substituted by another item. Like when we talk about substitute products, we talk about tea and coffee. But substitute here means like when we were using earlier, like when you should write things. Nowadays, we basically what we do is instead of writing, we use the MS Word. Like this is a substitute. So instead of buying a particular item, why won't we go for another item which is easier to handle and easier to wear or easier to eat? So these are the things which are associated with the competition in the industry. Next, we have permanence. So the degree, what happens, the degree of permanence of an industry is an important consideration, because permanence is actually a phenomenon, actually a way through which is related to the products and technology used by the industry. Because nothing is permanent in today's world. So everything is changing, and only thing which is constant is change itself. So, if an analyst feels that the need for a particular industry will vanish in a short period of time, and due to the rapid technological changes, that particular industry will become obsolete, it would be very, very foolish to invest in the particular industry, because you know no industry will remain permanent forever. Like now they are finding for alternate sources to supply your or to fuel your car or bikes. So with advent of new technology, obviously there will be changes in the industry as well. Then we have labor conditions. Labor conditions, work condition is an important factor as well as characteristic. If labor in a particular industry is very rebellious, they are always finding flaws and faults in the in the management in the industry. Then and is always inclined to make strikes and burns. Then the prospect of that industry is very, very, very poor, because without a diplomatic relationship with laborers, it won't be possible for the industry to function. And also we have attitude of the government. So if the government is providing tax incentives, tax havens, tax subsidies, so in those cases the industry would be very much flourishing, because like you must have seen earlier when IT sector was just starting in India, the government gave them tax haven because they were paying very less taxes. So in those particular at that particular point of time, the industry boosted on it grew. So but now the tax intensives have been reduced, so it is at par with other companies as well. So in order to boost the particular industry, the government gave them some incentives. So like similarly, we have some industries in northeast region where it is called a special economic zone. So those industries which are located here get some incentives from the government. Then we have some industries where the government becomes more stricter, or government lays